Hey everybody, AnY here. Oh great, I just told you in my last episode how awesome Legend of Korra is. And now I already have to retract my words, at least to some extent. And because I'm going to talk about developments very late in the season, I also have to put out a spoiler warning. Don't continue watching this video if you haven't seen the complete first season of Legend of Korra yet and don't want to get it spoiled. After you've watched it, I would be happy if you come back here. Everybody else, let's talk about my problem with the Legend of Korra. As I already told you in the context of my problem with Young Justice and Evasion, I really liked how the show started out. This new world where the traditions of Avatar: The Last Airbender exist in parallel to this steampunk version of the American 1920s. The conflict between benders and non-benders, AnY as a great antagonist, and in the middle of all this the young and dashing Avatar Korra. Endless potential. And a lot of that was put to great use. The pro-banning championship, the metal-banning police forces, and all the small references to the original series, just to name a few examples. So, what changed, especially in the last two episodes? The plot essentially is not the problem in my opinion. I'm also okay with AnY's backstory. Don't think it's great, but it serves its purpose. But its delivery on the other hand is awful. It feels so forced. Why is Tarlok going so deep into his background story? And how the relationship between him, AnY and their father developed. If it was this important for the producers to tell AnY's and Tarlok's backstory, they should have made a whole episode about it. Maybe as a flashback Tarlok has in his cell. This would have been a nice second to last episode to build up the tension before the grand finale. But it doesn't fit into the pace of this suspenseful and action-packed episode it's in. A more realistic approach would have been if Tarlok just said, "AnY is my brother and he's also a bloodbender like me. Now get me out of here." Because why should they leave him there? Okay, he says AnY must not find out they talk to him, but why? The next thing Korra does is standing on a balcony screaming out all the secrets Tarlok just told her. So AnY knows that she must have talked to Tarlok. And while we are at this particular scene, let's talk a bit about AnY's scar. First, how did he know he would be confronted to show his face this very day? Or did he paint on his scar every single day just in case? Second, what does this scar prove? The fact that he got actually burned by a firebender at some point? This doesn't invalidate Korra's story about him being Jacon's son and being a bloodbender at all. And by the way, why wasn't he burned? He is presented to be a fanatic who does not back away from extreme measures. But why did he not just actually let some firebender burn his face to support his fake backstory? But well, if he would have done this, the stupid citizens of Republic City wouldn't be able to realize his lies when the makeup washes off.
The scar's fake! The Avatar was telling the truth!
While he is water bending. Talking about the citizens. Where are the frightened bystanders who do not support the Equalists but are too scared to oppose them? In the last two episodes it seems like everybody in Republic City became an Equalist. How is this society supposed to be ever united again? Oh well, now that we know that AnY was lying about his origins all along, we suddenly do not hate benders anymore. Even so, AnY was a bender himself. Yeah. Oh well. I also wanted to talk about how rushed and disappointed the whole battle between the Equalists and the United Forces was. How we only get to see these two benders, Korra and Iroh, in action, while all these other so-called elite benders just get vanquished. Don't get me wrong, I have no problem with the United Forces losing. This is an exciting and necessary plot development, but this battle had so much potential and it was so lame and one-sided. Remember the battle on the Day of the Black Sun in the original series? Hundreds of benders fighting an epic battle for 10+ minutes straight, combined bending and steampunk action of its finest. And in the end the good guys also get defeated. But it was awesome. And this was only the mid-season final. By the way, how exactly did Korra manage to save Iroh out of all people? Even so, she never saw him before and was hiding underwater most of the battle. This problem could have been fixed easily if Korra entered the flagship and asked for the person in command. Then they would have fought a few scenes side by side until Iroh gets blown into the water and Korra saves him. This is another reason why they should have cut Tarlok's story time shorter and invested more into this battle. Talking about Tarlok, boy, his role sure got deconstructed in the end. My early impression was that Tarlok is supposed to be some manipulative and tactical evil mastermind, kind of. That's how he rose to power and became the influential councilman he was when Korra arrived in Republic City. But then he started his fight against the Equalists and quickly turned it into a witch hunt, targeting obviously innocent people and exacerbating the conflict between benders and non-benders. For me, this was a clear-cut issue. Tarlok wants the escalation because AnY is his partner. Tarlok's sentence
I was to be the city's savior.
and AnY's special treatment of him after taking away his bending, which I thought was an act at the time, seemed to confirm my conclusion. But then I see him sitting in his cell and telling Korra his sad backstory. And in his backstory he's such a cute and innocent boy. But in the end, if he never was AnY's partner, he was just one power-hungry, ruthless lunatic. But also characters who actually were partnered with AnY got a demeaning ending. The Lieutenant. Throughout the show he was this mysterious, superior and kind of cool second-in-command antagonist. In a James Bond movie he would have delivered the final battle with 007 after the evil genius has already been killed. But in Legend of Korra his character just gets thrown away. Literally. Then there is the final scene of the two evil brothers and yikes! Admit it, the Legend of Korra was a lot more adult than The Last Airbender, but this scene, it was pretty well executed, but the whole scene feels totally out of place, like it was taken from a completely different genre. Finally, the epilogue. Wow, did they screw this one up. And mostly because it was so rushed, throwing in AnY, the other previous avatars and the avatar state, as well as the avatar trademark show-off move. And Korra develops literally in the last minute the ability to restore bending. And to show the viewer the importance of this theme, it's cluttered with symbolism. The characters also suffer from this rush. Korra is devastated because she lost her bending. What causes this scene?
I love you, Korra. I can't. Korra!
I wouldn't have a problem with this if we wouldn't get the following scene moments later. Korra got her bending back and now she can share her feelings. This comes off pretty self-centered, which Korra isn't, at least not to this amount. Oh, and by the way, Hitch sleeps on the South Pole? But I have to admit, I love how the series points out its own plot holes.
They got away. We saw them get away.
Yes, we saw them get away, and we never get an explanation how they got captured after all.
Where does Hiroshi find the time to keep inventing new evil machines?
This is a very good question. You could argue that he had them already built before, but why should he reveal them one after another? Except for increasing the tension for the viewers, of course. In the end, this series is still great. After all, the animation is high class, the characters are awesome and the story is good as well. And there have been far worse endings than the Legend of Korra's ones. Perfect. Sorry, got this one stuck in my throat for a while now. I certainly am looking forward to the second season. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment or subscribe to let me know. See you soon, folks!